Greetings loyal subscribers and honoured guests. Welcome to the start of the 5th and final season of Covertape Chaos, at least in its current form. I will be covering Power Packs 51 all the way to 64 this season, and it will take most of the year to get there. While I fear that the glory days of the Power Pack are a ways behind us now, I still hope that some of the games included will be a pleasant surprise. Kicking things off this week, we have one full game, a playable demo, the now standard Techie tips, and a bunch of cheat codes. It feels nice to be doing these again, and I'm quite excited about finally finishing what I started years ago. Let's get on with it then. We begin with Steg the Slug, a platform puzzler from our friends at Codemasters, who can usually be relied upon to deliver fun budget-priced software. You take control of Steg and slither your way around the various levels, trying to guide the little grubs into the hungry mouths of your baby slugs. How cute, or not. Anyway, as is often the way with vintage C64 software, Steg the Slug is by no means an easy game. Luckily, you are at least given a password for each new level so you can return to the game where you died. In later levels, Steg can even power up with a jetpack or some bionic legs, which is pretty awesome. The graphics are quite nicely drawn and animated. There is a lot of green used, which makes sense given the subject matter, I suppose. The game has some really nice loading music to bop along to while you wait, but there doesn't seem to be any sound at all during the game itself, unless I'm missing something. All in all, a fairly novel idea that should keep the brainier C64 fans occupied for a fair old while. This is followed up on side A by the usual Techie tips. There's not really much left for me to say about these that I haven't already. Somebody somewhere may still find them useful today, I guess, but they were probably more interesting back when the mag was first published. Side 2 begins with a playable demo of a Defender clone called Deadline. Defender style games are well known for their high difficulty, and Deadline is no exception. The action moves at a fair old pace, so you need to keep your wits about you and have some pretty quick reaction times in order to avoid falling foul of the baddies. As you would expect from this type of game, there are little people to protect and rescue as well. The graphics are decent, but not as nice as Drop Zone in my opinion, which was featured on a Power Pack not so long ago. The gameplay is also not quite as polished as Archer's game, but it is better than a lot of the dross that has been on these tapes. Will probably keep you entertained for a little while, but I am doubtful about its staying power. That just leaves the Multihack utility, which is a collection of cheat codes for a variety of games. This would have been really useful back in the day. There's nothing worse than spending your pocket money on a brand new game only to find out that it's really difficult and you can't make much progress. Of course, most C64 disk images have trainers built into them, which eliminates the need for this, but if all your games were legit, then this was the easiest way to load up a cheat other than an action replay cartridge. That brings us to the end of Covertape Chaos 51. It's a shame that the first episode of Season 5 wasn't a bit more exciting, but there you go. I think Steg the Slug was definitely the highlight. I can see it being quite enjoyable if I were to sink a bit more time into it. I'll see you again in 2 weeks' time for episode 52. Keep checking the channel for other C64 related videos as well. I do have some planned. In the meantime, take care.